I sure have been walking for a long time, but I don't mind. My long legs are good for this sort of thing. Before this journey began, I was living in the stables of a king in a land far, far away. I loved having people visit me, and I especially enjoyed carrying the king around his kingdom. Then one day, the king told me I was going on a long journey to a distant land. I would carry an old teacher who was entrusted to take a whole bunch of treasure to a new king in Israel. I had no idea how far away Israel was, but I was about to find out. Once we left the palace, we followed a striking bright light in the sky as we traveled across the dry and sometimes lonely desert. Luckily, my big broad feet are good for walking across gravel and sand. All the while, I was bearing the old teacher on my back and leading the other camels on the way to visit the new king. Being a camel, I didn't need much food or water. The large humps on my back store all the energy I need for a long journey. As we traveled through the deep valleys and tall mountains and I took in the amazing sights, I kept blinking my long eyelashes to keep the sand out of my eyes. Eventually, we came to a huge, wonderful city. There, the kind teacher patted my head and assured me that our journey was nearly over. He and his student went into a grand palace to speak with the king. I was sure that this was the king. But when they came out, the teacher said we had a little further to go. I didn't mind. We saddled back up and set off for the little town. The star led us toward a small town just down the road from the big city. After walking for months and months, my feet are starting to tire and my humps need nourishment. While the teacher and his student have been very kind to me and the other camels, I could use some rest. We are almost at the little town now. I sure hope the teacher and his student can finally meet this new king. I wonder who he is. Do you have any pets? Would you want to have a camel as a pet? Why or why not? When you're traveling, what do you miss from home? Why do you think so many people still don't know about baby Jesus being born?